This is part 2 of my first ever FNAF animation. That's not really an animation because it's just gotcha. This one actually has to do with sister location. It all started when me and the night guard were standing outside of another office building, which I'm pretty sure was supposed to be the same one from part 1, which is like the only thing connecting these two stories. And I was like, do you want to work here? And he was like, yeah, sure. And I was like, okay, you ready for your first day on the job? And he was like, yeah, sure. And then he walked into the office building, came down a set of stairs, and then was in a basement. And then in this basement was 5 animatronics. There was Circus Baby, Valora, Funtime Freddy, and Funtime Foxy, and Springtrap, because Minecraft FNAF animation music video thingies taught me that Springtrap was in Sister location, which he isn't. So I don't know why they all said that. But so yeah, he was there too, and he was once again the villain, and he still had an axe. And I don't know how many years had passed in between part 1 and part 2, but he had got spring-locked in that time, and now he's Springtrap with an axe trying to kill all the fun times. And then, so Night Guard is at his desk doing stuff, and then they all the animatronics just power on, and and he's like, what is happening? And Circus Baby was like, oh, he's trying to kill us, and then points to Springtrap, and Springtrap just growled at her for some reason. And then it time jumped to show a montage of them over the next few days. And Night Guard and the Fun Times are hanging out, being best friends, and Springtrap was just always off to the side, just growling. And until one day when Night Guard came into work and there was no one there. So then he stepped into the room next to his office that he'd never been in, and it was a stage, and the animatronics were sing fighting, not a singing battle, they were just sing fighting, and they were singing I Hope You Die on Fire, and and it was very chaotic, and then Purple Guy / Springtrap tried to beat up Circus Baby, but then Night Guard was jumped in the way, and he's like, don't you beat her up. And then did another time jump. Now they're on the roof. I don't know of where, because they're in a basement, but they're on the roof of somewhere. And then it's Circus Baby and Thunder Freddy, and they're still telling Springtrap to die in a fire, and then Springtrap just throws his axe, and then he kills Funtime Freddy, and Circus Baby's just no! And then she goes back down to tell everyone else, and then they're all sad, but mostly Bon Bon, because they're father and son or something, and then Bon Bon's just no! And then it just shows Bon Bon crying while everyone stands around him in a circle for some reason, because I guess they're having a funeral for Funtime Freddy, even though Funtime Freddy's still on the roof, and they're not on the roof. But yeah, and then it cuts to Valora, because now Valora is the mom of Bon Bon, because she adopted him after his dad died, and so she's there, and she's singing at Springtrap, and then Springtrap, as a comeback, is oh yeah, well, remember when I killed you? And then it cuts back to show the kid that possesses Valora, because back then she was possessed by a kid, I guess. And then the worst thing happens. Then I, for some reason, was on the internet and found fan art of Purple Guy, and then just screenshotted it. It was him, Phone Guy, Mike, the other Night Guards. It was I don't know, it was weird. They were playing Connect 4. And so that was in the middle of the two scenes. So then for some reason, that meant since it was in the middle of them, everyone in that scene could see the picture. And then they're just what? And then the Circus Baby walked on scene. And then Springtrap just thought to himself, I'm so pretty. Referring to Purple Guy, because Purple Guy was in the picture. And then Circus Baby, who apparently had the power to mind read, just thought for a second. It was like, he's talking about himself being pretty, but he wasn't in any of those pictures. Wait, that must mean he's Purple Guy. And then Purple Guy being her dad, she was like, Dad? And Springtrap just like looked at her and then ran away. And she was like, no. And then Valora and Bon, who were also there, were just like, what? What just happened? And then that was it. Bye.